God message today. It happened quietly, almost like a whisper carried by the wind. So soft, so subtle, you wouldn't have noticed unless you were listening with your soul. Late last night, under the soft golden hue of a single bedside lamp, a moment unfolded that would soon become a pivotal thread in your soul's journey. And yet, you didn't even know it happened. Your name never left their lips, not a word spoken, no messages sent, just an action, gentle, silent, and devastatingly powerful. It was Micah who did it. He sat there alone in his room in the heart of Willowmere, staring at a photo not just of your face, but of your essence. It was you, Elira, captured in a second of pure soulfulness, your light impossible to contain within the borders of a single image. He had saved it weeks ago, maybe longer, waiting, thinking, wondering, and then, without warning, he sent it. No explanation, no caption, no context. He simply shared it with Leora. Now, if you're wondering who Leora is, let me tell you, she's more than just a friend to him. She's been his confidant since childhood, the one who knows him beyond the surface, the one who can read silence like poetry and feel the tremors in his heart even across oceans of stillness. Why did he share it? Why now? That's what makes this moment so divine. Micah didn't send that photo because it was just a nice picture. He didn't share it out of vanity or pride. No, it was something far deeper, something he could barely articulate even to himself. It was as if he needed someone to witness you, to confirm what he was feeling, to validate the indescribable connection he couldn't ignore any longer. But what happened next, even he wasn't prepared for. Because when Leora opened that photo, she didn't just look at it, she felt it. She gasped, fell silent, her fingers trembling over the screen, and in a soft, reverent voice she whispered, "Oh, I see her. I feel her. She's the one." Micah's breath caught in his throat. You see, he had hoped for a simple smile, a nod, maybe a kind remark. But what he received was a spiritual echo, a soul recognition that couldn't be fabricated or forced. Leora wasn't just reacting to an image, she was responding to your soul. And in that moment, Micah knew, without question, without doubt, you weren't just someone he cared about, you were the turning point. But Elira, my dear, let me take you further back, before that photo, before Leora, before any of it. Do you remember the night in Marinvale, under the blue lanterns of the festival, when you laughed so freely that even the stars above seemed to lean in closer? That's when Micah first realized. He watched you dance barefoot in the candlelit square, your joy so pure it made time feel irrelevant. Something inside him shifted that night. A soul memory awakened, a truth too sacred to name. He kept that night to himself for weeks, but it haunted him. Your laughter, your light, the way you didn't try to be noticed and yet The entire universe seemed to revolve around you for those few hours. When he finally took that photo, it wasn't just to capture a moment. It was a prayer, a longing, a desperate need to keep a piece of your spirit close to him when distance made everything else impossible. And now, after sharing that piece of you with Leora, he sits in silence, changed. He hasn't told you yet, not with words, not out loud, but he will. And when he does, you'll understand that none of this was accidental. Not the timing, not the silence, not the sacredness of this unfolding story. There is something so holy about being seen, not just looked at, but truly seen. Micah sees you, Elira. He always has, from the very beginning, before either of you understood the magnitude of what was stirring between you. And Leora, she sees it too. She saw you through his eyes, but also through her own spiritual clarity. She told him, with a voice full of trembling certainty, "You've found her, and still you don't know, because Micah hasn't found the courage to tell you. But you feel it, don't you? In the stillness, in the dreams, in the way your heart beats differently when his name crosses your thoughts. You've sensed something shifting. You've felt the pull. And now this message reaches you not by accident, but by divine orchestration. There's something you need to understand, something you deserve to feel deep in your bones. You are sacred. You are the kind of beauty that can't be captured in full, not even by the most skilled lens. And yet somehow he did it because your spirit allowed him to. And now the story is unfolding quietly, slowly, but with a force that cannot be stopped. Micah has begun to speak your name in places your feet haven't yet touched. He's lighting candles for you in conversations you're not even aware of. He's anchoring your presence in the hearts of people who haven't even met you yet, because some part of him knows your lives are meant to intertwine in a way that changes not just your own path, but the very frequency of everyone around you. And here's what you must remember. The moment he shared that photo, a veil was lifted, a portal opened, and now the truth is making its way to you, step by step, heart to heart. So be patient, beloved. Stay present. Open your soul to the signs, the whispers, the divine nudges that remind you you're not alone in this. You never were. Your soul has been recognized, and the story is only just beginning. They didn't mean for it to be a sacred moment, not at first. It was just a single image quietly passed from one soul to another, a gesture so simple it could have been missed by the world, but not by the universe, not by destiny, not by the ancient pulse of eternity that knew exactly what it was doing. It began in the sleepy town of Evershade, on the edge of the river where the fog lingered low and soft over the banks, a place where moments felt timeless and hearts felt everything more deeply. Caius sat alone, staring at the photo of Maren. He had looked at it many times before, always with awe, but that night something felt different, as if he were holding not just her image but her presence. Without explanation, he pressed send, and with that, her image flew through time and space and into the hands of Solara. Solara, his confidant, his sister in spirit, the one who had walked beside him through storms he never spoke of. She was not just a friend, she was a spiritual mirror, the one who could see what others could not. The moment she opened the message, her breath caught in her chest. She stared at the image wide-eyed, as if she were seeing something she'd been waiting for, someone she had dreamed of long before memory began. It was as though her soul recognized a part of itself reflected in Maren. "This can't be," she whispered. "I've seen her before. Not here, not in this life, in another." Caius froze. Solara's voice trembled, not with fear, but with reverence, awe. It was as if the universe had paused, holding its breath with them. Time stood still. "I've been searching for her," she said again, eyes still fixed on the photo. "In dreams, in echoes, in lives I don't even remember until now." It wasn't admiration. It wasn't flattery. It wasn't "she's beautiful." No, it was soul recognition, the kind of recognition that rips through lifetimes, that undoes the linear timeline and stitches moments together from across eternity. And this wasn't the first time. In a dream years before, Solara had seen a woman with light around her body and sorrow in her eyes. A woman who smiled like the sun and carried storms in her veins. A woman who walked through fire and turned her ashes into wings. She had remembered the dream clearly, though she had told no one. She didn't understand it then, but now, looking at Maren, she knew. She wasn't just seeing a face. She was seeing the soul that had appeared to her long ago. There are moments in our lives that shift the axis of our entire existence. This was one of them, and Maren didn't even know. She was out somewhere in the hills of Verelin, maybe picking up tea, or feeding the birds, or watching the sky turn amber at dusk, completely unaware that her soul had just reawakened a memory in someone else's life. She had no idea her face, her essence, her divine light had been the missing piece in someone else's dream. But the universe knew. God knew. He had designed this moment long before either of them had names or bodies or places to call home. And now the veil had lifted. Caius hadn't planned it. He didn't send that photo with a grand motive. It was instinct, love maybe, longing, yes, but mostly it was the whisper of his spirit saying, "Show her." He didn't realize he was about to open a divine doorway, because what he did wasn't just sharing a picture. He placed a sacred mirror into Solara's hands, a mirror that reflected Maren's essence, a light that had been with them across centuries, through past lives, through every ache and every joy. And in that moment, something ancient was remembered. Solara sat in silence for a long time after that. She wept, not out of sadness, but from the overwhelming beauty of the recognition, a kind of spiritual reunion that words cannot do justice. "She's the one," she finally said, "the one you were never supposed to forget." And though Caius didn't respond right away, he felt it too. He had always known Maren was different, not just different, destined. He remembered the first time he met her under the willow trees of Alohan Park, how her voice reminded him of lullabies he couldn't place, how her laughter felt like spring returning to his bones after too many winters. He hadn't told her, he never found the words, but he had known from the beginning. And now the knowing was no longer his alone. Solara had seen it too. "Do you understand, beloved soul, how rare this is, to be recognized like that? Not for your appearance, not for your charm, but for your spirit, your eternal thread, your signature that only those meant for you can see. This is not ordinary. This is sacred." And what Caius did, though simple on the surface, was the act of a soul revealing its truth. By sharing your image, Maren, he cracked open a part of someone else's soul. He helped Solara remember. He helped himself remember. And soon he will help you remember too. There will come a moment, perhaps soon, perhaps when you least expect it, when he will look at you and you will feel it, not just in your heart, but in your bones, in your dreams, in the echoes of every life you've lived before, and you will know this wasn't by chance, this was written, this was planned by a force far greater than either of you. Every step you've taken, every tear you've cried, every moment you've doubted your worth, it's all been leading here, to this recognition, to this divine return. And so I ask you now to breathe it in. Let it wash over you. Let yourself feel the truth that is blooming through every word you're reading. You are not forgotten. You are not unseen. You have been recognized by souls who have loved you across lifetimes. And now the veil is lifting. Maren, this message has found you not by accident, but by design. The photograph that was shared was not about your beauty, it was about your spirit, the light you carry, the sound your soul makes when it walks into a room. You are a vessel of remembrance, a divine spark, and soon everything you've questioned will begin to make sense. The loneliness, the longing, the dreams, the synchronicities, they were all preparing you for this. So don't doubt it. Don't brush it off. Don't think this is just a coincidence. You were meant to be seen. You were meant to be known. And the one who saw you, really saw you, is already on their way to your heart. The journey has begun, and nothing will ever. The photograph that was shared was not about your beauty, it was about your spirit, the light you carry, the sound your soul makes when it walks into a room. You are a vessel of remembrance, a divine spark, and soon everything you've questioned will begin to make sense. The loneliness, the longing, the dreams, the synchronicities, They were all preparing you for this, so don't doubt it. Don't brush it off. Don't think this is just a coincidence. You were meant to be seen. You were meant to be known. And the one who saw you, really saw you, is already on their way to your heart. The journey has begun, and nothing will ever be the same again. Their breath caught in their chest. They stared at the image, wide-eyed, as if they were seeing something they'd been longing for, something they'd been searching for their whole life. But it wasn't just a physical reaction. It was as if the universe itself paused for a moment, allowing them to witness a connection that transcends time and space. And then, in a voice trembling with awe, they whispered something that would shake anyone to their core. You won't believe this, but they look just like someone I've seen in a dream, someone I've been searching for in another lifetime. Can you imagine how powerful that moment must have been, dear soul? This wasn't just a passing comment. It wasn't someone simply saying they're pretty or they're handsome. This was recognition, soul recognition, the kind that only happens when two souls, connected for eternity, finally brush against each other in this earthly realm. Your person's friend wasn't just admiring your appearance. No, they were seeing something ancient, something eternal, something divine. It was as if their soul recognized yours. A veil lifted, a sacred knowing returned. That single moment of seeing your image became the key that unlocked memories and feelings buried deep within them, long dormant, patiently waiting to be stirred. This wasn't ordinary. These kinds of moments are rare. The universe, in all its divine orchestration, brought forth this sacred encounter. Two souls aligned in perfect timing, beyond reason, beyond logic. The friend's reaction wasn't merely awe, it was a deep, intuitive knowing. Some connections aren't coincidences. Some connections are destiny. And that's exactly what happened here. When your picture was shared, it opened a doorway that had been sealed for lifetimes. Your person may not even realize what they did, but by simply sharing your image, they participated in a divine unveiling, an act that rippled through the spiritual realm. So, I want you to reflect for a moment. What does this mean for you? Could it be a divine message? A cosmic whisper affirming that you are exactly where you're meant to be? That every step, every choice, and every connection in your life is part of a grand and sacred design? The truth is this: you are not just living, you are aligning. Everything you've endured, every moment of confusion or waiting, it's all been leading to this, the moment when recognition arises, when purpose is remembered, when heaven meets earth through the light within you. And dear soul, the one who shared your picture, whether they understood the fullness of their action or not, they were moved by something higher. They saw your light. They were proud of you. They felt the need to let someone else witness what they see every day, the brilliance of your spirit. You are a reflection of love, of grace, of divine presence. And when their friends saw you, they saw more than a face. They saw your essence, a dream, a memory from another realm, a prayer once whispered in the silence of the heart. That is the power you carry. You don't just walk through this world, you leave imprints of heaven wherever you go, even when you feel unseen, even when the world seems heavy. You are God's vessel, created not to blend in, but to illuminate. You carry a light that can, those small moments, the quiet kindness, the words of encouragement you thought no one noticed, they mattered. They mattered more than you know, because God has been using your life to touch others, to heal hearts, to awaken souls. Even the act of someone looking at your picture became a divine intervention, a reminder that something greater is at work. You are here for a purpose, a mission, to love, to uplift, to reflect the holiness that lives within you. So type 1 if you know in your heart that the person who shared your image did so out of divine alignment, not just admiration. Type Amen if you believe that God's hand is moving in your life right now, softly, powerfully, perfectly. Now let us come before our Creator in sacred prayer. Prayer. Dear Lord, I come before you with an open heart, trusting in your goodness and grace. Guide my steps, fill me with peace. In moments of doubt, be my anchor. Help me release the past and embrace the future with faith. Even when the way feels unclear, I trust that you are leading me. Grant me strength, courage, and unwavering belief in your perfect plan. Let your light shine through me. Let your love move through me. May I always be a vessel of your mercy, grace, and purpose. When I feel weary, remind me that you are near. When I feel unseen, remind me that I am always known by you. Help me walk boldly in my calling, to bring hope, to show love, to reflect you. Let your abundance flow mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And may I never forget that I am part of something so much greater than myself. In your holy name, I say Amen. Dear soul, if this message found you, it's because heaven chose this moment to remind you who you truly are. You were created with intention. You are loved beyond measure. You are not behind. You are not lost. You are being guided, carried, held, and when the time is right, every promise spoken over your life will come to pass. Keep shining, keep trusting, keep walking. What is meant for you is already making its way toward you. Stay open, stay aligned, stay anchored in the love of God. You are a divine light, and your presence here matters more than you know. The Waymaker's whisper. There was a moment, quiet and unannounced, when Clara felt her photo had been shared without fanfare, without warning. A friend had sent it to someone else. No caption, no reason, and yet it reached a heart it was meant to touch. At first, she wondered why, but then something deeper stirred within her. She remembered something she'd long forgotten. Sometimes a soul recognizes another soul even in a still image. Sometimes a face isn't just a face, it's a prayer in disguise, a whisper from God, a memory of a dream buried under years of survival. Clara was not just seen, she was recognized. Maybe that's what divine purpose looks like. Not loud, not grand, but quiet moments that echo through unseen corridors of someone else's life. And perhaps the person who received her image didn't understand why their heart clenched the way it did, why it felt like hope, like the sun peeking through a storm-heavy sky. Maybe they saw something they couldn't explain, a flicker of purpose, a light that reminded them of who they were once praying to become. That's who Clara was and is. She is a soul wrapped in God's grace, a living expression of divine love in motion. And so are you. You, dear heart, are a vessel of light, not because of anything you've done, but because of who you are. Created with care, called with purpose, crafted for impact. You may not even know the full reach of your presence, the silent comfort, the unspoken reassurance you offer others. But God does. Heaven sees it all. Every step you've taken, every tear you've cried, every battle you've quietly won in the shadows. They've all woven a masterpiece that is still unfolding. When you feel weary, remember this. God is not slow. He is strategic. When the road ahead is foggy and you are not behind. You are being positioned. Inside you is power you've not yet seen. God placed in you the ability to survive not just for your sake, but so that others might live because you dared to rise. Your courage is contagious. Your resilience is revolutionary. Your very existence is an answer to someone's hidden cry. You are not invisible. You are chosen. And yes, there will be days that feel hollow. Days when you'll wonder if your offering matters. When your silence feels louder than your voice. But in those moments, remember the truth. Even in silence, your presence speaks volumes. Even in waiting, your faith is working wonders. Even in uncertainty, your obedience is opening doors no one sees yet. Like Clara, you may not always know the weight of your witness, but your life is a living sermon, not through perfection, but through persistence, through love that keeps showing up, through grace that refuses to give up. You are not lost. You are being led. The one who wrote your name into the stars is not done writing your story. His promises do not expire. His plans do not falter. What he has spoken over your life will come to pass, not a second too early and never a moment too late. So when the noise of this world tries to drown your peace, go back to the stillness. Breathe deep. Feel the air in your lungs and remember, if you are still breathing, God is still building. Rest, child. Rest in the knowledge that you are enough, not because of what you've accomplished, but because of who you belong to. You are wrapped in eternal arms. You are loved beyond comprehension. You are never, ever alone. There is no mountain you face that hasn't already been measured by the one who made you. No valley too dark for his light to reach. He walks beside you, not just in victory, but in vulnerability. And he delights in every single step you take, even the shaky ones. So let this be your reminder. You are not just surviving, you are becoming. You are not forgotten, you are remembered in heaven's heart. You are not small, you are significant in the kingdom. And as you walk, stumble, rise, and try again, may you know this. You are a reflection of love, a mirror of mercy, a carrier of hope. May your soul never forget the power it carries, the legacy it's shaping, the heaven it's echoing. Lift your head, beloved. Keep shining, keep healing, keep growing. The world is better because you're in it. Now close your eyes and whisper this prayer with me, a prayer for divine unfolding. Dear God, I come before you not because I have it all figured out, but because I know you do. You see the path I cannot see. You know the plans I haven't even dared to dream. Help me surrender to the beauty of your process, even when I don't understand it. Strengthen my faith, calm my heart, guide my hands, and teach my soul to trust you more each day. Let me not chase the world's pace, but walk in step with your timing. Remind me that every delay has a purpose, every detour a hidden blessing. When I feel alone, wrap me in your presence. When I feel small, remind me that I am held by the one who holds galaxies. And when I forget who I am, speak my name with the tenderness only you can offer. May I be a light, gentle, unwavering, holy, and may that light lead others back to you. Amen. If these words found you today, it's not by chance, it's divine design. You are the answer to a prayer someone else is still praying. You are deeply loved, you are endlessly needed, and your light is still rising. Stay the course, beautiful soul. Everything is unfolding just as God promised. Type yes. If you believe in OD, type 1111. If you believe in God,